Salt Lake says team plane is going to take him back with Beckham and Romano. Is that how you understand it?
Yeah, we figure if they had an extra seat, they might as well, So it's, I mean, it's great, it's great for the clubs to cooperate like that. I mean, if we were the ones who had a plane there and we're bringing Eddie back, we'd bring their two guys back as well. I think that's just good sportsmanship and fair play.
Is it something the league gets involved in at that level, or do they just say,
no,
you guys work it out between yourselves?
No, it's just something I became aware of, and so Jurgen had told me, and I said, he says, I'll ask Jason if Eddie can go with them as well, and then I communicated with Jason. We texted each other, and everything got cleared up, so we were fine.
How is Hurtado?
I mean, he's fine from a standpoint of physically, just with the exception of the fractured cheekbone. So, we're trying to get him fitted right now for a mask. We don't know exactly when that's going to be completed and done, and then we'll make a determination, if he can play with it, if he feels comfortable with it, and once that gets resolved, then he should be cleared to be able to play. That's what our hope is.
And if that's not for Wednesday, it could be 3 of your kind of regular starting back line.
Yeah, it could be 3 out of the back 4. Yeah, changes because Johansson's gone with Sweden, and you've got Leo out as well with a hamstring. So it's a chance for Ayani and for Birch and for Zach to step up, which they've done at numerous times this season, and it's their opportunity.
Which team do you think is hurt more, maybe by the international? The people gone for international break?
I mean, it's tough to say. Obviously Mario Martinez played a lot of minutes for Honduras and will probably play a lot of minutes again. Will Johnson's playing a lot of minutes for Canada, so Mario's an important part of Costa Rica. Eddie's playing minutes right now for the U.S., so it really comes down to how many minutes each guy plays. So, if Beckerman ends up playing 90 minutes, they possibly then lose Beckerman for our game. If he doesn't play like he didn't play against Antigua, then he's possibly able to go and start against us. So, it's for what I've found over the years is you just can't worry about that. At the end of the day, they're going to submit their lineup sheet, and you got to play against those guys, and we got to submit our sheet, and those are the guys playing.
Are there any frustrations though that this conflict came kind of to accommodate a friendly, meaningless game almost?
Against Guatemala?
That this Salt Lake game was rescheduled to accommodate the Chelsea friendly.
I mean, things like that happen. There were the other international break in September. I think somebody had to play, in that period of time as well. So it happens. And again, I mean, you can stand on your head. You're not going to change it. So, at least I can. I can't stand on my head though.
Can you talk about the opportunity this is for Zach Scott, who, he was obviously a big part of the team earlier in the season, and kind of as guys got healthy, he's played more of a reserve role?
Yeah, Zach's still a big part of this team. I mean, that's never diminished, and he played an important role with us getting to the Open Cup final, and played an important role in CONCACAF as well for us. And we've always, when we've had 2 games a week, he's been alternating in there with Johansson. So for him, it's just another opportunity to show that, hey, I'm ready to contribute, I'm ready to help.
It's a career high for minutes, and I think he's already well surpassed that. I mean, were you surprised at all that he's featured as much this year, or was that some of the expectation going in?
I mean, it's a tribute to Zach. I mean, Zach continues to work, continues to improve. I've said before that probably over my 4 years here now, he's the most improved player, on the team, and a lot of it is just his work and his effort. And sometimes I gotta drag him off the practice field because I don't want him to train too much because he might become stale a little bit, and sometimes he becomes stale from overtraining. So a lot of guys you got to encourage to get out there and do things. Him, you got to sort of pull off the field and make him do a little bit less. But he's worked hard to get to where he's at, and he deserves everything he's gotten.
Is Salt Lake a team that you're more familiar with than others? Their lineup hasn't changed. Kreis is using a...
Well, I think everybody in the league's familiar with them. I mean, you look at them and you compare them to the team that won it for them in 2009, and I think there's really, really without Williams and without Robbie Russell, the rest of the team is pretty much the same. It's a lot of the similar guys out there. So they're a team that they've been able to stay intact. Their nucleus, their top, whatever you want to call it, their top 10 11 players have been there now 4 years together. You know, so there's certainly a familiarity they have with each other as a group. You know, a familiarity that shows in their play as well. So I think every team in the league sort of has a good awareness of what they're all about when they've got their people on the field.
The team hasn't scored against RSL this season. What makes them so tough defensively?
Well, we were a little bit unlucky, I thought, in the first game not to get a goal against them. You know, defensively, for us, you know, I think we haven't always played with our full firepower against them. In the 2 previous games we've played against them this season, if you watch the tapes, Morrow's been hit with a hard tackle 2 minutes into each game, you know, by Chris Wingard. So. Accident, coincidence, I don't know. But you know, it's something that we've got to get our offense untracked on the flanks and get behind them. And if we can do that, then we can have more success. But and we didn't do that as well in bits and pieces of those 2 games.
They have a very potent attack both up front and in their midfield. With kind of a new back 4, how are they gelling defensively?
Well, we've had some time to work with them this week. You know, we've played a little bit of 11v11, so they've got some time to be able to work together. You know, without Sabario, it sort of changes how they are because they're a classic big man forward matched with an active forward who Spindola sometimes becomes, you know, plays more like a winger than he plays like a forward. So, but he knows he's always got Sabario in the middle there that he can get the ball to. So, without Sabario there, it changes a little bit their dynamic. But again, they're a team. Morales, Spindola, Sabario, you know, Beckerman, you know, Will Johnson, Ned Grabavoy. Those guys have had a lot of minutes together.
Is Brennan okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, Zanzibar, and the Serengeti.